Someone, you create a visionary. She's back. She's here. Queen, bring up good hype. I got a clean shave today. Yeah. I got a clean shave today. A very clean shave today. I love it when I have a clean shave. Good morning. How you be? How you be? It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's such a beautiful day. Did you have a good day? Did you have a good day? Or are you just starting your Tuesday? Or are you just going to bed? What's happening in your world? Speaking to the soul of humanity. They always think I'm crazy when I start speaking like this. They always think I'm crazy. She's crazy. Until they find out that I'm not really that crazy. That is just the thing. I'm not really that crazy. They always think I'm crazy. She's crazy. Don't listen to her. She's crazy. Turns out I'm not. Turns out you're not. Someone you create a visionary. Welcome to Itemba Temple. This is where I need to have a spiel, an intro and an outro. I used to have these things, I used to do these things. Now I'm just like, just be authentic. Just do my thing. But I think it's still important to have kind of like a spiel, like an intro and an outro. I figured out my outro. But I just don't like to be bot-like. Honestly, I really don't like to be bot-like. Like, it's the same outro, it's the same intro, it's like bot-like. I don't like it because then it's like, hey, Jen. You're like a hey, Jen, like that software that people use. And it's like, you can just be a bot. Well, you can just record it one time, and then you can just keep writing scripts and writing scripts and writing scripts, and it even will write scripts for you. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't know. But then it's kind of like bot-like, and I'm just like, no, I am authentic. I am me. I am just so too amazing to be bot-like. Truly, I'm too amazing to be bot-like. The reason I share this with you is that you're too amazing to be bot-like, okay? Do not be bot-like. There is like no joy in being bot-like. Why do people want to be bot-like? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I understand it's kind of like, you can save a lot of time, you can save a lot of work, and you could be doing something else instead of like consistently coming here and sitting in front of the computer and doing your live streams. I get it. Like, I totally get it. I want to go do other stuff. But like, I'm just like, I've committed to doing this, right? So I don't know, for the time being, I'm not going to be bot-like. I've committed to this. This is what I've committed to give of my energy, to share of my downloads and my skills and my presence, my energy. So why should I be a bot? Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with Haitian. I'm not mocking that stuff, right? I'm just like, okay. When people see you, you are completely different than what you look like in the bot things. Okay, time management, productivity, leverage, efficiency. Okay, I get it. But it's just ChatGPT and Claude and all of these programs. So it's not really you are a person that is speaking. It is ChatGPT. I don't know. And we think we're going to make it. I mean, when the influencers are bots, okay? Oh. I don't know. It's a subject. It's a topic that we could talk about. I don't know. I don't know what's right for you. I know what's right for me. I'm all about what's right for me and what's right and what I will and will not do. Who knows? Maybe 10 years down the line, I'll change my mind about this. Maybe 6 months down the line, I'll change my mind about this because, I have a right to change my mind. But right now, I'm just like, I'm enjoying this process and I'm really having fun. Number one, I'm getting to kind of like know myself again and just work through my own story. And it's like been so much fun and discover little nooks and interesting parts about my story and the nature of human and how we engage with each other as humans. It's like so amazing to find this out about yourself. And I really believe that either a podcast or like daily videos or something like this is like daily therapy. Yeah. So yeah, it is so much better. Okay. What are we doing today? Morning. Now that I've had my chitty chat. I love having my chitty chats. Chitty chats. So what are we doing today? What do you want to do? I think I want to chant. Yesterday I was chanting Namya Renge Kyo, and it felt so good. I was really chanting yesterday. So let's chant. I'm going to chant Namya Renge Kyo and just sit and accept the vibrations. Sorry. Not sorry. Just sit and accept the vibrations. Energy moving in the throat chakra. Okay. So, yeah. Please gently close your eyes. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Hearing the sound of your own breath as a sigh as you let it out. Please take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Okay. So just continue taking a deep breath, knowing that you are safe, all is well. No matter what you're going through in life, no matter what is going on in your life, no matter how difficult it feels, it seems, it sounds, no matter what is going on, just remember that you are safe, you are whole, and just continue to take a deep breath in through your nose. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm just going to transmit energy to you through song, through chanting. Okay? So, hands relaxed, body relaxed, shoulders relaxed. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Namya Renge Kyo. Namya Renge Kyo. Namya Renge Kyo. Namya Renge Kyo, 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 Namya Renge Kyo. Namya Renge Kyo. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Taking a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. Please open your eyes. And be with me in this moment. Be with me in this moment. Yeah. How was that? Tell me. How was that? How was that? Was that good? Was that good? Was that good? Was that good? Yeah. Let us read day 50. Financial purpose. The money mission betrayal. Let us read. I think that's okay. Your financial purpose. I have not denied my purpose. Your financial purpose is the unique way you're meant to contribute value to the world while receiving abundance in return. But you deny this purpose by pursuing money for security, instead of service, by choosing practical careers over calling, by believing that following your true financial purpose is too risky or unrealistic. You settle for financial survival instead of financial alignment with your soul's mission. Carlos dreams of starting a nonprofit to help underprivileged youth, but stays in his corporate consulting job because it pays well. He tells himself he's being responsible and will pursue his real purpose someday when I have enough saved. 7 years later, he's financially comfortable but spiritually bankrupt, watching other people live the mission he abandoned. His denial of financial purpose has created wealth without meaning and success without satisfaction. Denying your financial purpose creates a split between your values and your income, your heart and your bank account. You spend 40 hours a week building someone else's dream, while your own purpose atrophies from neglect. Your nervous system registers this misalignment as chronic stress, depression, and a persistent sense that something essential is missing from your life. Embodiment practice. Feel into your current relationship with money and work. Does earning income energize or deplete you? Does your financial life align with your deepest values? Place your hand on your heart and ask, what is my financial purpose? Listen for the answer beneath the fear. Okay, let's read that again. Listen for the answer beneath the fear and say, I align my financial life with my soul's purpose. Money flows to me through meaningful contribution. I got a lot to say about this. I got a lot to say about this. Let's go. We got time. I'm going to go fast because I got some stuff to do today. So, your financial purpose is the unique way you're meant to contribute value to the world while receiving abundance in return. Hey, Jen, is maybe a way you're contributing value into the world. Okay? These live streams are a way I'm contributing value into the world. It's my way of being authentic and living my truth. And I've always wanted to do these I've been wanting to do these live streams for a long time. And I just had limiting beliefs. Now that I think about it, it was really limiting beliefs. And the first limiting belief was that I needed somebody to help me, or I needed somebody to be there with me so that I could do these live streams with them. Oh, I don't have anybody to talk to. And I tried to get people to come and talk and do it with me, and they were not interested. Okay, so I had this limiting belief. Your limiting beliefs they're gonna make you spiral. They're gonna make you sit in things that you do not understand. But now, hindsight 2020 vision, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. The best. Yes, it was the best. But it was a limiting belief, and I didn't even see it as a limiting belief in that moment. I was just hurt by that somebody that I asked to come and do these kind of podcast live streams with me didn't want to do it. They were off doing gambling or whatever they were doing. So it's okay, right? So, but it hurt a lot. And I was like, okay, so I guess my dream of doing live streams and podcasts and stuff like this is not going to become a reality. What? Yeah. Like, it was so stupid. It was so stupid. But I was so wrapped up in an idea of what my purpose looked like and should be. Because I didn't even ask myself what truly was my purpose. My purpose was to take care of other people's children. Because this purpose was handed down to me and it was ancestral. Okay? That was my purpose. So I was dragging people, come on, let's do this. It's going to help us. It's going to help humanity. It's going to be good for humanity. I was just trying. No, I don't want to do it. I'm going to the nightclub. I'm going to the casino. Fashion. Okay? So it's kind of like, oh, I'm a loser. I can't even get somebody to commit to doing live streams with me about good stuff. Okay. So I kind of forgot about my idea of live streams and I just let it go and I started traveling and I just started living my life in another way. But your purpose will never stop. It will keep coming back. It will just keep coming back and saying, hello, did I not tell you to do this? I used to sit and watch these TV presenters in Africa when I was growing up. And I was like, oh, maybe one day I'm going to be a TV presenter. And my dad was like, nothing like this. I want nothing to do with a woman who was on TV. And I was like, huh? Why? Number one, he was protecting me. I'm so thankful now that I look back. He was protecting me. He was really, really protecting me because the soul that I am is not some normal TV presenter soul here on planet Earth. My dad knew who I was and he was protecting me. And he was like, no, I will not put my child out into the world of vultures in South Africa. Who knows what will happen to her? So, Baba, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Okay? And then when I went to America, I started looking at people like Oprah and Ian Levenzant and like black women, right? And who were on TV, who were successful and stuff like this. And I was like, So, okay, my dad was not completely right or wrong about this TV thing. But look, in America, you know, there are women who are very successful who have their own TV shows. Okay? And then when YouTube came about, I was like, oh, I could have my own show. So I started my own show with stock market. I was teaching people stock market, but it was stock market trading. But it was so niched that I felt like I couldn't talk about something else or anything else, but it was just the stock market stuff. But that was my own limiting beliefs. It was always my own limiting beliefs. It was always. So when I say to you, your financial purpose is the unique way you are meant to contribute value to the world while receiving abundance in return, but you deny your purpose by pursuing money for security instead of service, by choosing practical careers over calling, by believing that following your true financial purpose is too risky or unrealistic. I was teaching stock market trading because that's what I knew. And I knew really, really well, and I was really good at it. So it was like, no black woman is teaching stock market trading. So, okay, I will teach it the best way. But honestly, I wasn't really teaching stock market trading. I was teaching the psychology of stock market trading, which is another game altogether. That's why you can sit here with me and recognize that I got the psychology game way packed better than psychologists because I lived it. I live my truth. When I say to you, I know how to get myself out of the fear of death, it's because I've lived it. When I say to you, I know how to get myself out of the fear of hell, it's because I lived it. When I say to you, I know how to look an AK-47 in the face and say, you can't touch me, it's because I lived it. Okay? So, my YouTube stories. So then I was like, I want to have live streams. And then my limiting beliefs was like, well, if somebody doesn't want to do live streams with me, so then I'm not going to do these live streams. Oh, turns out, no. I'm really having a great time enjoying my live streams on a daily basis, and kind of like, it's like my purpose come back again. Live streams. After 10 years of been wanting to do live streams and ignoring it and just going off and doing my own tangent. Because honestly, I really love doing this because it's just so much fun. Now I just need to market my life. Well, now I just need to be in community with sane human beings so that I can grow my audience. Because I have a really great message, honestly. And there aren't enough therapists in this world, and I really have a really great message, and it's really helpful. Okay, I probably shouldn't be calling people stupid dum-dums, but so I'm working on it. So that's why I was like, well, let me get out the kinks first, you know, and I okay, like stuff like that, okay, and then once I figured out, maybe that's another limiting belief, but once I figured out like what works for me and what really, really works, and if you don't like the fact that I call people stupid dum-dums, maybe you're not right for me. And so then I could find the perfect playmates to play with, because I don't want to sugarcoat myself ever again. I don't want to tell half truths because I'm protecting people's egos. I don't like people labeling themselves ADHD, PhD, depression, all sorts of these things, because you live up to these labels and you expect other people to feel sorry for you. So, I mean, you know, living like this and speaking my truth and being in my truth is like, okay, now who do I actually want to play with? Because I refuse to be around people I need to shrink around, because these are the same people that need my help, and I'm like, no. You know what I mean? It's like, no. But I'm back to doing what I initially wanted to do at 12 when I was at 13 when I was at the National School of the Arts, and that I wanted to do 10 years ago. So your purpose will keep coming. It will just keep coming. It will just keep coming back over and over and over again until you look at it. Because even if it seems unrealistic to you, it is really what you have signed up to come to this earth to do. And sometimes you just need to start by yourself, and then, you know, the crowd. Like when I started my stock market teaching, I was teaching really the psychology of trading. Nobody was there. I was doing it by myself. And then when I started to see traction and I started getting clients, then because I'm kind of dumb at times, I go and fetch the ones that didn't want to help me. I fetch them. I'm like, come on, I'm making money in my business. Come on, come on. These are the same ones that didn't want to help, but I go and like fetch them and I say, come into my business, come and enjoy the fruits of my labor. Because I was taught that purpose is to take care of people. So I want to ask you, maybe you can write in the comments below, because this is really, it's a really touchy subject. Who taught you about purpose? Who taught you about purpose? And if you don't, you're like, what? Purpose? I don't know anything about purpose. Okay, you don't have to write it. Maybe you can write in the comments. I don't know anything about purpose. I don't know what meaning is. Okay, not a big deal. At least you're honest. When you can be honest that I don't even know what purpose is. What? Purpose? Okay. I don't even know what meaning is. Yo, you are at the best place ever. Why? Because you're like, I never even thought about it. Now the seed of awakening has like cracked a little open. You're like, I'm supposed to think about that? Yes, darling, you're supposed to think about that. Okay, I didn't know that I was supposed to think about that. Not a big deal. Now you know. You are far better than, or far more advanced than the people like, I'm living my purpose, yet it's a lie. They don't even know who gave them that purpose. Because when I look at my life, I was always saying, oh, I'm living my purpose. Let me tell you something. I gotta tell you something. This one is a real one. I'm gonna tell you real truths. If you've been following my story, I've been sharing with you about my dad and my grandparent, my grandfather. My grandfather was super wealthy, had empires and stuff like this. He had an empire of logistics, which he had buses and trucks and transportation, right? And he had he used to sell clothes. He had a church. And he had a very successful butchery. Not butchery, but like a huge supermarket. Okay, great. So I listened to my dad tell me about his father who was, super successful and all of this. And my dad went off on his own tangent and tried to be super successful. And my dad, because he sold insurance and he helped people with death, planning for death and planning for how you're going to take care of your relatives after you die. This is why I'm so in love with death, the topic of death. My dad always spoke about purpose. Okay, but he got purpose from his dad. But like now that I've spent a lot of time thinking about this idea of purpose, I realized that his idea of purpose was kind of wonky. And this is why I took on this idea of purpose. As purpose being, you got to take care of other people. No, this is not the idea of purpose. So the idea of purpose the true idea of purpose for me was showing up in my life very early, like 13 years old when I was in art school. And I was like, oh, I think I should be a TV presenter. And my dad was like, no, you cannot do that. You are not going to do that. It's not safe in South Africa. Okay, turns out, maybe it wasn't safe. But then when I started my YouTube channel in America and I was like getting traction, I was like, oh, this might be a thing. And then I just left it because I moved to China and all of that other stuff. And now it's back, okay? But if your idea of purpose is based on a faulty assumption that purpose is for you to take care of other people, that's your job, is purpose. It's faulty. You are going down a dangerous path. Because as soon as you have an awakening that says, I am a sovereign being, it is not my job to take care of people. Oh, now you are incongruent within yourself. And this is why a majority of us do not leave toxic families, toxic jobs, toxic relationships. Because if your idea of purpose is to make sure that other people's lives are working, even at the expense of your own happiness, the expense of your financial peace, the expense of your emotional, psychological, spiritual peace of mind, you will be incongruent. You will fight yourself. It doesn't matter how much success you have, you will destroy yourself to make other people happy and safe and comfortable. I lived it. My dad lived it. He died a very sad soul. Actually, my mother killed him, even after he had given so much of his life force. My mother just killed him for insurance money. So what was the purpose? He sold insurance to other people. And then my mother got an insurance policy on him and killed him to get money for that insurance policy. His idea of purpose was so faulty. But where did he get that idea of purpose? From my grandfather. Okay? Where did my grandfather get this idea of purpose? From his grandfather. So who knows who's the faulty one here or where this idea of purpose came about? So when I decided to analyze this idea of purpose and say, you know what, really, honestly, I have given so much. I have taken care of people. I have bought people cars. I have paid for people's private school education. I have brought people to America. And these people are disrespectful, they are rude, they are thieves, they are liars. I want nothing to do with this. The incongruence within myself, the self-hatred, the self-blame. Then I was in the jungle and I was sitting there in the jungle and I said, what if purpose was about being peaceful? What if purpose was just being happy? It was when I was sitting at the temple and the fake monk, if you don't know my story about the fake monk, I don't know, I must link that. It is actually last week Monday's live stream. When the fake monk with my younger sister, Busi Buthelezi, that were running this $13 billion cryptocurrency scam at the temple, a Buddhist temple, okay, fake monk with my sibling, they're running the scam, and other people, they were in a criminal syndicate, international criminal syndicate, and they're running cryptocurrency scams. So they wanted to run the scam through the temple, and I said, oh my God. And they had my whole life planned out. I was going to be the head nun, and I was going to take care of these crazy foreigners that come to the island and the temple, and I was going to therapy them and psychology them, and people were going to pay to stay at this temple, and they were going to give the monk some money, and they were just going to run this cryptocurrency scam through the temple. It was at that point that I said, oh, maybe this purpose thing is not what I think it is. And I said, what if purpose is just for me to be happy? It doesn't matter how much money I have. It doesn't matter what I have, how many things I have. Maybe what if the idea of purpose is just to be in myself happy? This is when my idea of purpose changed. Because I had an erroneous idea myself that purpose is for me to love people, have children that I will take care of, that will remember me, that will speak so highly of me, and my name will live on forever, and future generations will think of me. But honestly, when I realized that people had a plan for my life so that they can embody my personality and go out into the world and create scam artistry, and when I didn't want to comply to this idea of what they were wanting to do, they were sending people, hitmen, to come and kill me at my house, I realized that, nope, I need to change my idea of purpose. Come to find out that this year, they cut the HIV funding, they cut all of the US aid funding. Now you got a whole bunch of children in Africa just going to be running around for another generation with no mothers, because the mothers are going to be dying because they have no money for this HIV medication. You're going to have fathers who are going to be dying. So the grandmothers are going to be the one that are going to have to take care of these children. But the grandmothers are old and they don't really make a lot of money. So who's going to be taking care of the youth in Africa? Africa has got the youngest population. So they've got the youth. So who's going to be taking care of these children? I realized this. I said, oh, I dodged a bullet. I dodged a bullet. Because when I'm like, so these people were planning for me to be Mama Tembi of Africa and take care of other people's children. I tried this. These are the same people who turn around and hire hitmen to kill me. I tried this. I took care of my mother's daughter, my mother's child, my father's children. And these are the same people that plotted to kill me. So why would I want to go and take care of other people's children and be Mama Tembi all across Africa? Who knows when these children are going to turn around and want to kill me next? Because my own siblings have did this. Then I had to sit down and question my idea of purpose. What if purpose is just being happy? Honestly, what if purpose is just being happy? Living in your ecstasy and recognizing that I am not God. I didn't create this interesting experience of life. I am not God. I am not Jesus here to Lamb of God, save the children of the world. Maybe I am not this. My idea of Mother Teresa was a great idea. But was that really my purpose? I never explored the idea of purpose being, I just want to be happy. I just want to live with my husband and just be happy and maybe have a cat and live a quiet life. And, my whole life, my purpose was to educate my siblings, pay for their private school education, take care of my mother, buy her something, whatever she needs, make sure that my father is okay. I never knew what just being happy for myself meant. And then I got to America and I bought myself a home and I was like, oh my God, I can actually have nice things. I never had a concept of what that purpose purpose could just be me being happy. And this concept never, ever. It is really, honestly, when I was sitting at the Buddhist temple and I said, I'm sorry, I'm very smart and stuff like that. I studied a lot of psychology. I did a lot of work for myself. I am not taking care of some Russians who were coming to the temple batshit crazy, disrespectful, and out of control. I won't do it. I won't. And I just walked out of the temple. I said, let these people do what they must. Some of them just walked into the ocean and they never came out because brain was not working. They were highly stressed out or whatever was going on. I said, since when am I a nanny to some Russian people who want to take over this temple? I'm sorry. Since when am I a nanny for this? And I'm not getting paid. In the US, I was getting paid a lot of money to help people, coach people. Now I'm going to coach disrespectful Russians for free while they... No, thank you. It's not working for me. Not working for me. That was the beginning of true understanding of purpose for me. Because I've loved being of service to others. Because I love seeing another person just like heal from their own pain. Because I know what it's like to just be so mentally overwhelmed. You don't even know where to get help. You don't even know where to start. I know what that feels like. And my whole life has just been like, I just really want to help people be the best version of themselves, which comes back to the live stream. Yeah, I mean, I could sit and just help people at the temple one by one by one by one. But the live stream is leveraged. And if you want to do the work, you can do the work. If you don't want to do the work, it has nothing to do with me. At the temple, I was so invested in people's evolution, and it's not my problem. I don't know what their mothers taught them. I don't know what madness brought them to the temple. But that was the beginning of my awakening of this idea of purpose. It was like, maybe purpose is just for me to be happy. Yes. If I hadn't had that slight little awakening and that slight little shift in understanding of purpose, I would be going down a very dangerous path, because now I would be running back to Africa going, oh my goodness, I need to help with all of these youth and these children. But I'm sorry. This is ma'at. It's unfortunate that innocent mothers and fathers and innocent youth that had nothing to do with these cryptocurrency scams are now the beneficiaries of corruption. It's unfortunate. But if I hadn't had that awakening and saying, I refuse to take care of unstable Russians at the temple that have nothing to do with me, that are running cryptocurrency scams at this temple, I refuse. I would have not had the damn insight to not get myself involved in things that I was not a part of creating. What does that have to do with me, tell me? Question your idea of purpose. Question your idea of meaning. Question your idea of why you want to do good for the world. Question why. So let's go back. Carlos dreams of starting a non-profit to help underprivileged youth, but stays in his corporate consulting job because it pays well, right? He tells himself he's being responsible and will pursue his real purpose someday when he has saved enough. Why does Carlos want to open up a non-profit? It could be a wound. He could be just such a very lovely person, such a nice person. But really, empathy, that kind of empathy where you want to help others, where you want to give to others, where you want to uplift and share others, it's because of a wound. And that wounding in childhood or some experience in your life has either helped you become so empathetic towards the nature of human or humanity, or has helped you become real narcissistic and psychopathic, where you just run scams and you don't care how those scams are going to affect hundreds of millions of people 5 years down the line. You don't know. You don't care. I mean, like Idi Amin, I don't care. Right? So wounding and trauma will create two, okay, let's just say in this circumstance, two forms of relating in the world. The kind of relating where you say, I love humanity because of the pain that I experienced. I want to be of service to others. I truly want to be of service to others. And I want to make sure that others who go through the same experience that I've lived through have help, because I was able to help myself. But if you don't clarify that, people will write out your life story, and you'll just fall into it. Yes, I'm going to be Mother Teresa, Mother Tembi. I'm going to be taking care of people. You will be taking care of people who are deep involved in criminal activities, and they will have a justification for their criminal activities. You said you wanted to be Mother Teresa, so I'm running cryptocurrency scams and scamming people with gold romance scams because I'm going to give you the money. So now, once you've taken the money for your non-profit or whatever you've taken the money for, now you can't get out of this. So when the law enforcement and the karma comes around and the laws of Ma'at now start balancing, which is energy, right? Energy must balance itself out. Now you are involved in this. Now you cannot get out. You cannot get out. Okay? You must look. You must understand thyself. Okay? And for some people, when they've experienced trauma and wounding, they become the ones that steal and then say, no, but I'm doing it for the greater good. At what cost? At what cost? Because now the greater good is like looking kind of wonky. Because now we have a generation of young Africans that are just going to be walking around in the streets, education really bad. At least South Africa, we've got some kind of good education. But no, AI is just going to fill in for education, but the parents are not there. AI is going to be the one taking care of these children. In what reality? Okay, these are the South African children who've got cell phones and who've got these, whatever. What about the ones in all other parts of Africa? What are you going to do with these children? What are you going to do with this youth? Who's going to take care of this youth? I want to ask this question. What about other parts of the world? What about the other parts of the world? No. This is why we were doing the scams. This is why we're stealing. Just steal from the rich. Robin Hood. Steal from the rich and give to the poor. But the thing is, the universe does not care. If the energy is a little wonky, you've planted a seed here, there must be repercussions. So now that the repercussions are here, like, I don't know what to do. Of course you don't know what to do. This is why it's so important to examine your own ideas of what purpose is, what health is, what wealth is. I've read a lot of books on purpose. I've read a lot of books on health and wealth, and I've read over 2,800 books. That was the last time I counted in America. 2,000 books. Okay? I used to talk to my dad about this idea of purpose a lot. Hey, Timby, purpose is that people will remember you. People will remember me for what? That I was Mother Africa? But it really, truly, I'm not really Mother Africa. I'm in jail because people have stolen money. I cannot speak on these things. Yes, I'm taking care of all of these children because they're giving me all of this money to take care of all of these children. It's stolen money. Yeah, but Americans stole from us. They stole from us. So we have a right to do it. No. Just take the money and keep quiet and just open up your non-profits and just shut up. Just shut up. And no. So that you can take on my identity and go around the world and be me? No. Maybe my purpose in life is just to be happy. Maybe my purpose in life is just to be happy. And maybe my purpose in life is revealing itself as these live streams. Because now, I can still have impact with many, many people. And I can just tell the truth. Because in telling the truth, we're dissolving these energies within us. We are getting to question ourselves and say, is this idea of purpose really, really real? Is this idea of purpose really what I think it is? Maybe purpose is just to be happy, because I understand, I've come to this understanding. If I die in misery, if I die in lies, even on a quantum physics level, that waveform of lies, that field, that quantum field, that field of potential of lies, of family secrets, of deception, and that means I have to be born back into this waveform of hell. No, I don't care how many people know that I'm Mother Teresa, Mother Tempe, she Mother of Africa. I don't want this. I don't care. No, because that means I've died in a lie. Even though I have all of these children, all of these people that say, Tempe has helped, and she's been going around helping these people, praying for these people, uplifting these people. But what's funding me? Lies, theft consciousness. So still, when I come back, I must be born right back into this hell, so the cycle doesn't end. When I started to look at this idea of purpose and say, but maybe I can do it my way. And it might take a little longer, but it's going to be truthful. It's going to be based on the laws of Ma'at, evolutionary psychology, so that we can look at ourselves, so that we can evolve from our ignorance. And I too, this is why I'm sharing with you that I have had to evolve from my own ignorance, my own idea of what purpose is. Because if you do not understand what your idea of purpose is, people will fund you. I'm telling you, people will fund you. You will be jailed. You don't know if it's the CIA. You don't know if it's a secret society. You don't know if these people are laundering money through you. This is why I just sat with my company and I said, okay, future gen leaders. Truly, what is future gen leaders? I am a future gen leader. I am a current leader. But in the next lifetime, I'm a future gen leader. And if in this lifetime, I cannot even tell the truth. And live in integrity as a current leader, what future gen leader am I? Because I'm going to die and going to come back. God does not die. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So meaning we keep coming back over and over, reincarnation over and over and over again, being born in the same circumstances with the same people that we were complaining about in this lifetime. Yesterday I was speaking about, if you don't know thyself, you will engage in business with people who will land you up in prison or some kind of bad situation. When you know thyself, even when it all collapses and it just goes really, really bad, okay? Really bad, like hundreds of millions of people's lives at risk, you can stand in your own sovereignty, in your own truth, and say, wow, I didn't know that it was this big. I had no idea, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I spoke my truth to myself about myself. This I will not put up with. This I will not put up with. This, kind of interesting. Because the nature of human at the current level of consciousness is that we do not want to take responsibility. We do not want to take accountability. We are blaming each other. And sometimes the consequences are devastating. Devastating. So we have another generation of young people that are going to grow up without the loving care of a mother, of a father, grandparents who are old. It's dysfunction. When I see this in my dreams, they come. I see this in my meditation vision when I'm visioning and I see these. I said, oh God, what have we become? So I understand people who want to do non-profit organizations. But Carlos, let me ask you something. Is this because of wounding that you haven't examined? Trauma that you haven't healed? Survivor's guilt? I learned that, went deep into, kind of knew about survivor's guilt. That's why I was constantly going back to Africa and trying to help, trying to drag people. These people sometimes don't want your help. They don't. They'll hire hitmen to kill you after that. And they'll be okay with it. They just keep walking like nothing happened. So Carlos, let me ask you, my darling, is it because you want to start a non-profit organization because you haven't healed your wounding? Is it survivor's guilt? Is it your true purpose that you really, really want to help people? Or is it your ego? Because I've had to ask myself these questions. Is it my ego? Some part of it was yes. Who would not want to be remembered for all of eternity? How many people's lives you've touched? But at what cost? The cost of my soul? Do you have to come back over and over and over into the same situations with the same people having the same freaking problems? I don't think so. There is always another way to manifest your purpose. Life will make a plan. Life will make a way for you. You just gotta listen. It has been 10 years that I've been wanting to do these live streams. Here we are, 10 years later. Here we are. Speaking about these things. Okay. So denying your financial purpose creates a split between your values and your income, your heart and your bank account. You spend 40 hours a week building someone else's dream while your purpose atrophies from neglect. Your nervous system registers this misalignment as chronic stress, depression, and persistent sense that something essential is missing from your life. Your job might just be enough. And because it gives you this sense of peace, it just gives you a sense of peace and a quiet life. I've just loved having a quiet life. My whole life, I've always loved having a quiet life because I grew up in chaos. And the more I started unpacking this idea of purpose, I said, nah, man, my purpose is just to live in ecstasy. And from a place of ecstasy, what is aligned with truth, what is aligned with integrity, what is aligned with joy, what is aligned with creative expression, what is aligned with love, with integrity and truth will be revealed. Will be revealed. Because this idea of me running around saying, oh, I'm going to be Mother Teresa. Okay, you can't be really Mother Teresa. Okay, you can't. Mother Teresa was her own archetype. Okay, so I'm going to take an example of what Mother Teresa is and I'm going to follow that. I'm just going to emulate that. Okay, it's great. I like that idea of Mother Teresa as a person who just loved humanity. I can emulate that part, but in my own unique way. I will show up and sit here instead of put H in. I will show up and tell you stories and read my books and be committed to growing the platform so that more people can liberate themselves from dysfunction and faulty ideas of purpose. My purpose is to live in ecstasy, because if I die in ecstasy, I take my last breath in ecstasy, I don't have to be reborn in dysfunction ever again. I don't. And that is a life well lived. That is a life well lived. That is true purpose. To never have to repeat dysfunction. That is purpose. Why are you here? Yesterday we spoke about this. The school of life. Right? You go to school, you get a report. You graduate a semester, you move on to the next semester. So when you graduate to the next semester is when you take your last breath. And then you go through purgatory. And then you go through weighing of the heart with the feather of Ma'at. Okay? Do you repeat in spiritual special ed the lessons? Getting reborn into the same family that abused you, that paid hitmen to kill you, all sorts of this mess. Steal your money, steal everything from you. Do you want to repeat this? I looked at myself, I said, no, I'm so sorry. I won't. How much pain must I live through? I won't. Okay, so if you won't, what are you willing to do? Cut everything. I'm willing to start again. In truth, now that I know that my purpose is not to save people, I am not God. I am not Jesus. So next time you think of your purpose, and you think your purpose is to save some people, to help people, because you've just got a big heart and you're just an empathetic person and you're just a loving person, go deeper. Ask yourself more questions. Because if it's from a place of I just want to help people because nobody was there for me, that's wounding talking. You will meet somebody who is wanting to launder money and they will use you and your wounding story because you don't even know your own wounds, and you might end up in prison. Maybe you don't end up in prison, but you end up dead. Or you end up next lifetime, now you're involved in the same hell that made you start the non-profit to begin with. But I don't believe in lifetimes. Reincarnation, I don't believe in. Okay, it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. God does not die. This is quantum physics. Okay? So the reason I sit here and I share these things with you on purpose, and even tell you the stories of how I came up with this idea of purpose, because if you go to futuregenleaders.com, www.futuregenleaders.com, the first sentence you're going to see there is, make money with your purpose. What is your purpose? My purpose is to live in ecstasy. Just be happy. Just be happy. Whatever comes from that joy, that bliss, that connection with God, consciousness as my life, is a bonus because I'm already happy. Because I'm already living in ecstasy. I'm not going to chase anything on the outside thinking that it's going to activate happiness, bliss, joy, or ecstasy within. No, I start with the ecstasy, and everything else from that is just a bonus. But to re-engineer that took me 3.5 years, because when I first got to Thailand, I said, I want to turn Maslow's hierarchy of needs upside down. Start with self-actualization. Who am I? Why am I here? What are the things that are holding me? The lies I tell myself, the false ideas. Oh, the family one was the worst. Because especially if you come from the collective culture, you have so many ideas of family that are erroneous, that are unhealthy. You have so many ideas of family that are, not family, but culture and community and country that are not for your best interest. They are not for your best interest. I am not saying the individualistic culture is better because they're lonely. You know, they are lonely. But what I have learned is that you can have balance. Learn from the individualistic, lonely ones. Learn from them. They can teach you a lot about being sovereign. And then we can learn from the collective culture ones and say, whoa, this is kind of dysfunction. Wow. But when they're there for each other, they're there for each other. So maybe we can learn something from them. It's not about judgment. It's neither good nor bad. It's just an observation. It's just an observation. But until you start to ask yourself, truly, who gave me this purpose? Is it a hand-down version of purpose from my dad, my grandfather, my great-grandfather? How did they die? Siblings poisoning them? I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to take a purpose from somebody who was having really hard time with their own family members. I'm going to take this and make this my purpose. Okay, I'm going to take the idea of purpose and just continue with that idea. You will have a sibling who will pay hitmen to come and kill you because you're playing out that purpose. Until I just said, no, I'm so sorry. That is not to do with my purpose. My purpose is just to live in ecstasy. It's to live in ecstasy. When I said that, I broke the spell over myself and this idea of purpose. I deviated from the script that they wrote for me that was going to keep me in their control while they go around stealing money and creating all sorts of crimes. I got myself out of a hot mess that I didn't even know was going on behind me. I swear to you. Ask yourself, who gave you the purpose that you are following? Because it might have nothing to do with you. It might be some people's ideas of madness. Okay? So, embodiment practice. Feel into your current relationships with money and work. Who gave you your idea of money? Your ideas of money. Who gave you your ideas of work? Who said you need to work 40 hours a week? Oh no, but I've seen people do that all my life. Okay, but is it real? Is it truthful? Maybe it's not truthful for you. Maybe it's not real for you. Ask yourself this, okay? Does earning income energize or deplete you? Does your financial life align with your deepest values? Place your hand on your heart and ask, what is my true financial purpose? It's only recently that I've asked myself these questions. I worked on fucking Wall Street and I thought, okay, I got this money thing going. Until I realized I didn't have it going. I didn't know what the hell my purpose was, my financial purpose was. I didn't. Because my financial purpose was to just take care of people. I had no idea that was a programming. If you're an African American, if you're an African, wake up from this ignorance. It's called black tax. You cannot breathe for anyone. You did not create the lungs. You did not create the nostrils, and you did not create the oxygen. So why you have to take care of other people and their stuff? It beats me. I've never understood it. Well, recently. Okay, what's your financial purpose? Listen for the answer beneath the fear and say, I align my financial life with my soul's purpose. My soul's purpose. Money flows to me through meaningful contributions, not through cryptocurrency scams, not through gold romance scams, not through stealing other people's ideas, because if you do that, now you must live. So this is why people sometimes end up in psych wards, because the energy body, life does not lie. Human beings. Oh my God, I'm so thankful. I'm living my life. I'm living my purpose. My purpose is to live in ecstasy. The first E, ecstasy, is what? Energetic integrity. Energetic integrity. Energetic integrity is I tell the truth all the time. No matter what, I'm willing. I'm so sorry. Anything else, not interested. Because the consequences are dire and devastating. Okay, so what are we going to do today? I think let's just be quiet. Yo, human beings, the things I know. The things I know. The things I know. I gotta tell you a lot. I got a lot of stories about a lot of I've lived, okay? I've lived. I have lived. I have lived. I think today I just want to be silent. Like yesterday, we spent 10 minutes. I just shared a lot. And it's like, whoa, that is overwhelming. Like, whoa, that is overwhelming. Like, whoa, that is overwhelming. Yeah, this is quite, I've lived, okay? And maybe you're like, wow, what the hell kind of a life has this woman lived? I've lived. So I think, what do we do today? Let's just sit and be still, like yesterday's meditation. Yesterday we learned to just be still. Because it, honestly, for me, it is in the stillness. It was the stillness at the temple. What the hell? These microphones get heavy. Yeah, there you go. It was the stillness at the temple that allowed me to decipher this idea of purpose and really think about it and say, okay, truly, what is purpose? It was the stillness. It was the meditation and the stillness. So I think this week, let's just be still because we're talking about purpose. And I just started this week by sharing with you how I actually even came to this idea of purpose. But like cleansed this idea of purpose. Yeah, this week I just think we need to just be quiet because really, honestly, that's how I really came to understand this idea of purpose. Okay? So let's meditate.